The 2021 Bitcoin bull market has seen multiple altcoin seasons, some quite short and some quite large. And I think we're on the verge of another large altcoin season. Now, this is quite different to 2017, where we had two major altcoin pumps and we were given a lot of warning before then. But in this video, I want to go through and see if we can identify some of the signals for the altcoin seasons coming up. So before we get in, make sure you continue to smash up that subscribe button and the like button. We're on our way to 250,000 subscribers during this bull market. And while you're over there, check out the Learn Crypto and Bitcoin Here playlist. Wallets, big exit strategies, and also 1,000 to 100,000 there if you want to look for ways to develop your plan. So first thing I'm looking at is the Bitcoin chart. Reason being is we want to see where we currently sit. Are we getting some support at higher levels, or does it look like we're about to take out some significant turning points? Right now, the significant turning point is on my weekly swing chart. This is something you have to draw on. It's not an indicator tool, and this is specifically Gann analysis. So once you learn how to draw these swing charts, then you can start to identify these major turning points. And at the moment, it's around that 39 to 40,000 on a longer term time frame, and they work on all time frames, and you can also see it on the dailies. So at the moment, we are holding pretty steady above our $60,000 level, but I've got my two areas here which I'm comfortable with Bitcoin correcting to. I don't think it'll fall into a major bear market, but if we do get the correction down to high 40s, low to mid 50s, I think we're still safe. So this sort of leads on into a potential altcoin season. Before we dive into that, we can also see a lot of big news coming out, as it always does during bull markets, and that is also affecting the bull market. So we want to make sure that the big news is pushing prices, or at least keeping a positive sentiment in the space. In a bear market, the positive news won't show you any sort of change in the market. It'll just hold it up, or the market will continue to fall slightly. That's the difference between the market sentiment. So positive news I've got here, we can see volume 52, digital asset funds flow weekly. The flows on the weekly basis here, record inflows last week totaling 1.5 billion. With year-to-date inflows at around 8 billion as well. Weekly crypto asset flows. This is taken from a Medium article here, CoinShares. You can see this is huge. 2021, so number of weeks. We were quite small previously, and now all of a sudden it's just kicked off massive. Digital asset investment products saw inflows last week totaling 1.47 billion, the largest on record by a significant margin. Well, I mean, that just shows it right there. Previously it was around 500 million, and now we're at this 1.5 billion. Where is this coming from? Potentially partnerships like this as well. And of course, we know there's a lot of money coming into the space with institutions. You hear it all the time. So I don't want to drag on about that, but just update on some of the headlines. MasterCard and Bakkt. Bakkt was the big news for a long time back then. Partner to offer innovative crypto and loyalty solutions. So MasterCard customers, people who have the MasterCard terminals, customers like us, consumers can actually go and use our MasterCards, can now enable consumers, us, to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency, deliver unique crypto-centric loyalty opportunities, so maybe you're getting some cash back in cryptocurrency, and streamline issuance of branded crypto debit and credit cards. So these guys maybe are trying to give some of the other players a run for their money. The guys who are also issuing crypto debit cards, Crypto.com, BlockFi, plenty of them out there, depending on which region you're in as well. So they look like they're coming to the space. So this is giving this sort of business some more legitimacy. Crypto debit cards are looking pretty good at this stage, especially when you can get that cash back in crypto. This is Bakkt holdings. So after that news, you can see we're at the 22nd, and then on the 25th, just looking at the date here, it just jumps right up. The price has spiked. Great news for the company. Having a quick look at that. More money coming in. Absolutely huge news. The Korean Teachers Credit Union, which manages $47 billion, is investing in Bitcoin as per local reports. And you can see the local report here. It was in Korean, can translate it. 47 trillion won, works out to be $47 billion. Crypto VC firm Sino Global Capital launches 200 million fund with backing from FTX, another favorite of the channel. So the fund will invest across crypto projects, including DeFi and NFT infrastructure. we don't stop hearing about NFTs. So more and more money coming into the space. We're looking at all of these altcoin season cycles. And we can see that we have a total market cap, 2.7 trillion. That is now into all-time high territory of total market caps. Total coins tracked, about 10,000 across over 500 exchanges as well. That's important to understand. We look across to our Bitcoin dominance. So there's a lot of money flowing in, and the Bitcoin dominance continues to lag around 40 to 48% of the total market cap. Now you can see my green circles and yellow circles as well, some neater than others. The down periods, this is when we see altcoin seasons. So we're going to take it back to about December of 2020. The point here is that we see Bitcoin drop in dominance, which usually means money is flowing into altcoins. How can we pick this up beforehand? Well, we get some consolidation, and like we're currently seeing now, we see consolidation and then also a little bit of a rise in Bitcoin dominance. It's been some time since Bitcoin has had the spotlight really to itself to get that move up. The last time it did that was when it went on a tear from about 10,000 to approximately 25, 30,000, and then the altcoin started to come back in January. So that was the last time it really had its time in the spotlight. Of course, it's been going up since then as well. It's what everyone's talking about, but we want to know about these altcoin seasons. So really simply, I'm looking across other charts to notice when they are strong on their BTC chart. So I've divided this into different sections. You can do the same thing. Bitcoin dominance, I've got on a 2-day just to clear out some of the noise. The other charts will be on 1 day. And what I've got here, first section is January into February. So this is Bitcoin losing dominance, meaning money is flowing out into some altcoins. It went sideways for a little bit. So this is the dominance. So the altcoins were still pumping. And then the altcoins really went on a tear between around mid-March. Of course, we're talking across the entire space. They all popped off different times, but we're just trying to get some broad ideas here. Mid-March into mid-May. And then from that point, Bitcoin got a little more dominance back, but the entire market space was crashing at that point. We had that big crash on the 19th of May, and that took us right down. And so at that point, people were kind of scared, and they were starting to sell out of some of their altcoins, or at least consolidating into stronger altcoins, which leads me to the yellow circles. So at this period, I'm thinking, which are the altcoins which are finding some strength during these yellow periods when Bitcoin is also finding strength? So if the altcoin is at least holding steady on its BTC value and Bitcoin is going up in value, then that's probably meaning that those altcoins are going to be strong and will show some strength once Bitcoin loses its dominance again. So Bitcoin loses its dominance from, this is the late part of July, early August. So if we call it August into early September, there's about a month. Bitcoin loses its dominance. Altcoins get a bit of a run on again. Then the dominance swings back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes on a move from mid-September to what we've just seen into mid-October. Bitcoin gets its move back again. And now we've seen Bitcoin come off the highs, and we've seen a little bit of this move back into altcoins. So which altcoins were strong during these yellow periods? ETH USD, it's been on a pretty good run. It had a fall from May into July, which a lot of the cryptos have, but now it's been on its run as well, getting very close to its all-time high. But what does it look like on a BTC chart? BTC, it went on a massive tear from around late March into mid-May. So what was the Bitcoin dominance doing in late March to mid-May? It was falling. So ETH was also moving at the same time. So it wasn't as strong at that period. It took the dominance away, and that's where Bitcoin got lost a lot of its dominance because a lot of the money was flowing into ETH, being the second biggest crypto. What else do we have? We've got .USD on the move up. Dot really only had altcoin season here from about late December, call it January, into mid-February, because then it didn't really do anything through this period. It kind of got a lot of people's hopes up, and it didn't really go anywhere. And then it lost a lot of value. Now it's come back. So what was it doing on its BTC chart? Well, you can see it was also going up from late December into March, and now we're starting to see it move its way up from July into September. So was Bitcoin also a little bit weak from July into September? Well, July into September, yep. So who was strong during these periods as well? During this period of September into October? Well, DOT also was reasonably strong, or at least holding its ground. You can see here, you got September into October, and now it's starting to climb back a little bit as Bitcoin has fallen, but it started to find some support while Bitcoin, as we can see here, was on its run. So Bitcoin was gaining some strength, and DOT was also gaining some strength, or at least holding its position. Compare this to an NFT play, which had a really hot time early on. You can really start to see the difference here. Chili's, massive, everywhere. It was pumping from mid-February into March. So it only had a few weeks of a pump, but it hasn't gone anywhere since then. So during the period, this is Chili's against Bitcoin, big NFT play at the time. Not to say that it can't come back now and just shoot us all the way, but it's been going down against its Bitcoin value the entire time. It's really struggled through that period. It had one really quick, massive play, and then it struggled the entire time. And now we're comparing that to DOT, where it's been up and it's found some support at this period where Bitcoin was trying to regain some strength. It didn't actually flush out DOT so much because it had been regaining some strength. And so if I start to apply that to a lot of different altcoins, then I can start to see which ones are going to be stronger through this never-ending altcoin season, which is the way I've felt like it has been compared to 2017, where we saw two big clear plays. Bitcoin regained dominance, altcoins got dumped, as we can see from ETH BTC. And this is 2017. And you can see ETH went on a big run, big dump, another big run, and then it was all over. This felt like a good time, but it was all over at that point. So that's what I'm looking for here. And this is a quick first start way to have a look at that. And then we look at some more strength using our 50%. But in terms of that never-ending altcoin season, that's what I'm thinking is occurring at the moment. We've seen a lot of times where Bitcoin has gone sideways and alts have popped off here and there, but we didn't really have anything like we've seen in 2017 when we had these massive moves multiple times. We might be winding up for another one now. And if we look at ETH, you can see that we've just gone sideways for a bit and we're potentially winding up for another one. This could be even stronger than what we're anticipating, potentially. Throwing a bit of Hopium out there because I'm usually Hopium-free on the channel, because we're seeing it hold its ground rather than retreat like it did in 2017 before it went on its next peak. So that's the positive I can get out of this. Of course, I'm just a guy on the internet figuring out what's going on in the market next, and provided I have exit strategies and ways to keep me safe in the market, which I talk about multiple times in these sorts of videos here, important crypto exit strategies, go and check those videos out. I'll leave a link to them at the end of this video. Then if I'm wrong, I can keep myself safe. And that's the only way that I know how to trade these markets. If you've got a crystal ball, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm just sharing with you the way I trade the markets based on my previous experiences. So if you love that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Going for 250,000, like the video up, smash all the algorithm buttons. See you on Instagram, Twitter, or on Patreon. There's a link to that in the top of the description. See you guys at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done.